So, hello everybody. Um, in a previous recording, I had talked about my friend Zach Schwartz, who showed up and helped take me back to my kids. So during my time with Mike in the apartment, there was this creepy guy that lived there, and you could just tell that every time he looked at you, like he was imagining stuff in his head. Like you could see the looks on his face. He was that kind of creep. And right before I left town and moved to Leavenworth, I remember hearing that he was found dead at the river. And I had always wondered what happened to him, like how he died. And I wanted to look it up. I always wanted to look it up, but I couldn't. I never did. And then one day, fast forward 4 or 5 years later, and come home from working Subway. It was either right before my last jump start or right after. And I come home and I'm sitting on the edge of my bed and I just have the thought, I wonder how that guy died. So I open up Google and I type in man found in Missouri River. And the third search result said Zach Schwartz in the little description. And so I click on it, and that's how I found out Zach had died, and he was found in the river. I always thought it was weird that I wanted to know how that guy died, and I never looked it up, and then as soon as I did, that's the result I found. I don't believe in coincidences. I can't believe in them. Yep, I just forgot that part last time when I was talking about Zach. The other day I listened to that Awake Mind Sleep Body meditation for the first time in a year or two. And I can't tell you what happened, but all I know is I remember listening to it, I remember not listening to it, and then I remember my eyes like shooting open, and I felt like I was slammed back into my body. Like everything was kind of blurry for a second and I couldn't recognize anything. There was this one time when I very first started meditating after Tom came around, and I was meditating or whatever, but then I heard my kids come up the stairs in my bathroom. My bedroom was right next to our bathroom. And I remember like thinking and freaking out because I couldn't remember which room I was in. It's as if I was hovering above both rooms, and I heard my kid, and I was rushing trying to figure out which room I was in so I could get back to my body. that one was cool. There's been a lot of times where I've seen my own eyes looking back at me. Like it's not really the whole face, it's just the eyes. Let's see, there's one time I remember I was meditating and all of a sudden I remember like being slammed on this field full of grass. And I can't remember if I was like running or playing soccer or what, but it was really real. And I remember knowing that I was in meditation when it happened. Let's see. There's this one time my body started like twitching uncontrollably, and my daughter saw it, and she came to try to wake me up, and she told me that I said to her, "Don't worry, it's almost over." just give me a second. But I don't remember telling her that. I remember being like, oh shit, like, my body's twitching, but there was nothing I could do about it. Like, it was like I was just observing it. Let's see. So there was a couple weird incidences with me sleeping but awake. One day I'm laying in my bed and I have a body pillow, like, is between my legs and coming up to my head. And I have my head on it, one arm underneath it, wrapped around it, and the other arm over it. And I was texting with my arm resting on the pillow, my head resting on the pillow, and, chilling. And I was texting Tom. And all of a sudden I remember feeling that my body dropped into that automatic breath feeling, like I knew I was sleeping. And I started texting Tom, and I'm like, bro, I think I'm asleep. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I think my body is sleeping. He's like, how are you texting me? I was like, my hand and whole body is relaxed. And I'm breathing, sleep breathing. But I'm still able to move my fingers and text you. And he's like, but if you're sleeping, your eyes would be. I was like, I can't tell if my eyes are open or not. And he's like, Jessica, you're freaking me out. What's going on? And I tell him, okay, look, I'm going to turn the camera on, and I'm going to turn it around facing me, and I'm going to take a picture. And so I did. I turned the camera around and on, and I did all this with just moving my two thumbs. And I took a picture of myself. And I still have I still have all the pictures to this day. And I was legit asleep. My eyes were closed. But somehow I was still able to see through my eyelids, and I was still able to be conscious and continue to move my thumbs and text Tom when my body was asleep. And I remember being scared to move. I was scared to, like, try to wake up. I was scared I couldn't wake up. And so it took me a few minutes, and finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I moved, and I kind of woke up, and my body felt like it was waking up like normal. And I snapped a picture of me, and then I snapped another picture like 5 minutes later, and you can see the transition of me, like, sleeping to looking like I just woke up to looking awake. Like, yeah, that was a different experience. Let's see. So I want to talk about one of my kids real quick. Once I wasn't messing with a little propane heater. I was trying to fix it because it wasn't working. And one of my kids come up to me. They're about 3 years old, and they're like, and they just they look at me all chill, and they kind of cock their head sideways, and in a calm voice, they're like, Mommy, one day you're gonna die by fire. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And then the same child once told me that they saw the end of the world. They said it was on fire. One time there was a tornado warning, and the sirens were going off, and we were up here in Leavenworth, and I look at my kids, and I was like, we just got there, so it's like, what do we do? Do we go back home, or do we go inside Walmart? And I look at the kid, and I'm like, you make the decision. I'm like, your little psychic ass, what do we do? And they're like, we'll stay. And I'm like, all right, guys, we're staying. And this lady just standing next to me just looked at me like I was crazy for letting my son decide. But I trusted him. Oh, I just gave it away to him. Yeah. Anyways, my kids also got into talking about the third eye right before all this happened, because in our apartment complex, this was before my jump start. So there was this lady who OD'd a few apartments down, and I didn't tell my kids. My kids were all sleeping when it happened, and the next day or a few days later, we're talking about it, and Jesse's like, God damn it, Excuse my language. Okay, yes, all this is Kid Jesse, okay. Um, so, he said that there's this lady that came into the room, this ghost lady, and she stood at the foot of their bed, and because they were all sleeping in my bed, which was a king, and he said that she came and stood at the foot of the bed, and she just smiled at them, like so sweetly, and she just stood there for a few minutes smiling, and then she went, like, through the wall out the room. I want to tell you about my kids' names, but I'm going to wait because that's probably going to be a whole 15 minutes by itself. So fun fact, growing up, not really a fun fact, my sister had this guy that lived on our street that she always had a crush on. And when he turned 18, he passed away. They found him dead in a hotel by World's Fun. And I remember my sister being so devastated about it. And that's when I had my first favorite number in my life. I clung on to the number 8 and 18 in memory of Ivan. It was Ivan Joseph Sell III. There was once, after my jump start, I was steam cleaning my carpet, which I had put off doing for quite a while. And I remember standing there talking to Tom, being like, you know, I have the machine to clean the carpet. I have the time to clean the carpet. The fact that I'm wasting this potential and living with dirty carpets is like, it doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. And as I'm discussing this, explaining it to him, how I'm wasting potential, all of a sudden the floor starts moving. Like, I can't describe it. It was if, like, say the floor was a thin layer of film, and then I put a heavy vacuum on it, that the gravity or the stretching of the thin film, like, that was reality. It's like it was sinking in on the vacuum as I pushed it away from me every time. And it still happens to this day when I'm vacuuming, but only vacuuming, not mopping or sweeping or anything. Like, the structure of the floor shifts and changes every time I push the vacuum forward out in front of me. Which I was 13:31 on the clock. I just looked at the clock to see the time so I could end this video, because I don't think they should be long since they're just kind of random, all thrown together right now. I don't know what any of this is. I mean, I'm scared some of this is just my ego, and other people are going through this in the world, and I just think I'm special because I don't communicate with people. And part of this is, I can't explain why there was no urge to learn, to seek information about any of this. Obviously, it's because we don't need it. It's all within us. But I don't know truly what happened to me. Like, I'll have a normal experience in my day. But then when you have people reading on your energy and they pick up on it and they explain it back to you in this way, it's like, I don't want to go all there. But anyways, I feel like I have to go through the experience. It's the only way to show people, because I don't have no instructions. I don't have no diagrams, and I don't have a step-by-step process. I don't know if it's because I have no knowledge about it, and other people in human language to where I can communicate it with people. It's like I have it inside of me, but maybe that's why I can't talk to people about it, or can't express it. I don't know. If I'm meant to learn about it, God will put it in front of me. He's made that abundantly clear. But anyways, I don't know. I just wanted to share that I truly don't know what part of this is the important part. I know I'm supposed to just chill and stay tempered, and which I do, I am. I realized the other day that I had mentioned I was on the phone talking about my day, and I started crying because I was just so freaking happy. And I realized a few days ago that that's exactly how I feel when I have these huge synchronistic moments, right? So I was able to feel that love, that being seen, being understood, being cared for. That burst of tears for just feeling love and joy and happy. Like, I felt that without a big synchronicity. Like, that whole day was a synchronicity, I guess. And so I think that I'm learning I don't know what I'm learning, but I'm learning. I can see that I've come a long way. It took me a whole year to be able to watch those very first videos I posted. And once I did, I was happy that I expressed it that way, because regardless of why I did it, now I can see how far I've come with it. I still have a lot to go, but all in due time, all in God's time. But that's it for this one, folks. I apologize for not being regular with postings. I can tell it's going to start getting to the complicated stuff, and I guess I'm nervous of that, because we'll get there. Alright, thank you. Bye-bye.